Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Goal, goal, goal! Tonight! 180!
55's mine, guys, 55!
Cadence gold!
Foles. He dumps it underneath for Taylor. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Gold!
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
I got you. Gold!
Tight end to the right, boys, tight end to the right. Move!
Tonight! 180!
Check!
Hey, check Mike! Watching you.
Silent! 6!
Watch the pass!
Tonight!
Here's Foles.
Switch!
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down.
Blitz!
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Tonight! 180! Flat!
Four down.
Zebra!
Mike, 55! Right there in the middle, 55!
I got him!
Silent!
Check three!
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it second and 10.
Tonight! 180!
Four down! Bang!
Under!
Bang!
Tempo!
Double up! He's coming, double up!
6!
Now Foles. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
26!
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Here we go,
They tried a
46.
quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move away.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Let's go!
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Tight ends on the Ringo.
Here we go, here we go. Wide 80. Go. Get out there, get out there. Here we go, get out.
Prescott from the gun. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit. Put some points on the board on this one.
There's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Go.
55, Mike 55.
Flat.
Watch the run. They're running it.
Great.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big way.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Wide 80.
3 down.
26.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And on the left side, he's got Witten. A good pickup there, a 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
A first down carry by Elliott. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Here's Prescott, and that is incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Randall Cobb, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Out.
Come here. Tonight. Green 80.
55, Mike 55.
Come here.
On play action, they'll throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Taco Charlton in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Kill.
Great.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
Cadence.
Defense.
Silent.
And here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up the throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Taco Charlton in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
That's what I'm talking about, D.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack.
Zebra.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
Great.
4 down.
Tonight.
They're going to try and throw. Being chased out left. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Silver.
4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Watch 89. 3.
Tonight. 180.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that'll be incomplete. The running back, Leonard Fournette, his intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Watch 7.
Tempo.
Quads.
Water. Set. Ready to go.
Now back to throw.
Let him know.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch the edge.
Tonight. 180.
Mike 55.
They go back to the ground now with Fournette. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Tonight. 130.
Shift.
Great.
You got tight.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big.
Tiger. Hey, gold. Sound gold. Tiger.
Hey, Mike 50.
Gold. Water.
Here it comes.
Silent.
Hey, watch it.
Bounce it, hit.
Back to throw here. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch tight end.
Gun.
Out.
Here we go. 188.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
26.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here we go. 180.
We got trips. We got 3.
3rd and long for Prescott. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 47 yards. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you've got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
Here's Prescott. Flushed out right. That is caught at the 7. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Hatch it.
Here we go. 47.
4.
You ain't doing nothing today.
26.
Now Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Now for the point after. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
That's our ball.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half.
Under.
Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Shift.
They begin with a run by Fournette. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
Go, let's go.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Tempo.
They'll throw now on the final play. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Then we're going to 53. Here we go. 180.
On second down, Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. The Cowboys on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Hey, here we go. 180.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. They convert on third with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Hold the look, hold.
Here we go, 46. 46.
Second down, Prescott. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The reception good for 7. It's third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They'll try to run for it with Elliott. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Watch tight end. Tight right, tight.
Here we go, 46.
3 down.
Gun. Here we go, 46. 46.
First down, Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Switch is A.
3 down.
Gun. 26.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds him. And down inside the 15 he goes. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Here we go, 47.
Safety's creeping.
26.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Tight end's Ringo. Tight end's on the Ringo. Tight end's on the Ringo. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down, 3 down.
Gun. 26.
A second down throw for Prescott. Dancing to his left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
26.
Prescott to throw it.
We got 3.
And that is incomplete.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And this one is right through. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Right there in the middle. 55.
Goal.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Here we go.
Mike 55.
Now again to Taylor. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
1. Tonight. 180. Goal.
Let's set a tone.
Downson hit.
Foles. The open man is Westbrook.
Push him back.
And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there.
We got 4.
9 yards on the
Let's go,
pickup
fellas.
there, and it
Let's
keeps the
go.
drive alive.
If you are in need of assistance, please notify the nearest police officer or stay
Watch the whip.
Hey, silent one, silent one. Set! 180!
Now Foles.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And still fighting. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together?
Let's go!
Mike 55!
Here's Foles. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, Julius Thomas, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Check, check. Watch.
13, 13.
Hey, me and you all day.
1, 1, 1, 1.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Gray.
Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4.
Be alert, be alert.
I'm coming!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
Check hot route. Hot.
Throw left side complete. It's Taylor. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Odd.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Nick Foles, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion.
Watch 12.
Third, 180.
And now we've got a stoppage here. The noise is deafening. And they'll say what? A timeout. Well, you can barely hear the whistles, but the offense does take a timeout here. So here we go now as the Jaguars will go for 2.
Tight end right. Hey.
Third, 180.
We got 4 down.
Gray.
55's mine, guys. 55.
Set, ready to go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And they're going to get the 2. It's caught. So they get the conversion, and now we're back to a one-score game.
Jacksonville will kick this one off. Number 16, the deep return man.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Including hats, visors, jerseys, and collectible memorabilia.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. The give is to Elliott. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Rhino.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the four fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the four fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line is really hunkered down and established itself.
Yeah, this is where they say, putting the game on our shoulders will lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Mike 54. It's coming this way, coming this way. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Yes.
49, check 49, check 49.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Tonight, 180.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
Here we go, here we go.
6. Let's go.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The Jaguars on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16.
180.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
They'll look to throw here. He dumps it underneath for Taylor. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. One score down. Here we go.
Tempo.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Alert!
10. 180. Zebra.
50's the
Let's go. Zebra.
I smell fear in that offense.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Here we go. 180.
4 down.
180.
Throwing here, Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
3 down. Odd.
Here we go, 47. Switch is A.
Now Prescott. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts, as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Here we go, 46. Here we go. Wide 8. 26.
Prescott to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Slam.
Here we go, gold. Tonight. Gold. Tonight. White 80.
Watch 85.
Back to throw.
Daddy.
To the right side, complete to Taylor. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
We got tight left.
4 down. Tonight.
He'll look to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll go down at the 28.
Here we go.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Now the Jags are moving quickly in the hurry-up.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
They'll look to throw. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Great. To go.
Back to throw. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Doug Marrone has made the call. His guys are going for it.
Tight end. Watch tight end. Tight right.
Tempo.
3 down.
1.
Hey, check.
He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
Here we go. Go to 54. Wide 80.
It's just me and you.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27.
Get it.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays. But I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Cowboys, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they